Hey everyone, and welcome out to episode 120 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. It's me, it's Mark. Now, quick little footnote, little sidebar, real quick. I know you're like, wait, what happened to 119? For those of you who are watching and the YouTube continuity, for those of you listening, you already understand how this goes. Unless you're new to the podcast, I've explained it in the past. So, whenever I do a special episode on the feed from an RSS standpoint, I have to label it the next numerical one. So, 119 was my whole breakdown and review of the Miles Morales What If He Was Thor comic book issue, which was on YouTube but not numbered as a podcast episode. But from an audio standpoint, it was a bonus special episode for 119. So to keep continuity with the RSS feed and everything going on, this is episode 120, and that's how it is going forward in case anything like this comes up again. So it's my favorite time of the year. It's the summer anime time of the year. So I've been waiting. Some of my animes are returning. Some new ones are starting up with season 1, and Crunchyroll released their summer 2022 lineup. And I figured with Anime Expo happening this weekend and the summer anime starting up, I was like, this is gonna be a very anime and manga heavy episode, which I'm okay with because I love those. I got boxes over here for those of you watching on YouTube because I got more stuff from Books a Million. Yeah, through the box for those of you listening. I have a video live on YouTube right now going over my first order and everything from them because they were doing buy two get one free on manga. So I was like, let me buy some manga. And on top of that, I did go shopping for manga. So I have a nice stack to go over of all my new manga pickups, as well as, what I've been watching, what I've been playing. I didn't get to the comic book store this week because I was busy with work, and now it's going to be 4th of July weekend by the time this goes live. So I was like, you know what? I'll get my comics next week, and next week can be comic books, and I could talk about some Marvel stuff, and Thor: Love and Thunder coming out, and definitely Stranger Things Part 2 of Season 4 because that's dropping this Friday, probably the day this goes live, or the day after, or the day before, I should say. So I'm like, you know what? A lot going on. I got a lot to talk about in the summer. And yeah, I can't wait. So, obviously, I'll get into the Crunchyroll Summer 2022 anime lineup down the road, but let's start with all the manga I picked up because it's a good amount, and I've been actually redoing my shelves over to fit all my manga. So, right at the bat, this is an older manga, the first one I picked up. I've seen the anime. I read it when it was chapters on online, and I was trying to hunt it down. I never found it. It came out in 2018, I believe. It's called Other Side Picnic. It's from Square Enix, and this is actually really cool. So this student on a break, they find another parallel universe, and it's just good. Another manga I picked up, volume 2 of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. Now, I finished all of season 1 of this. I can't wait for season 2 to come out. I believe that might be fall this year or probably spring next year. There's no full defined timeline, but this looks good. I wanted to get volume 2. I have volume 1. And Books a Million is still doing their buy 2 get 1 free on manga until the 3rd. So I may pick up some more of those because I know it's only been released up until like volume 9 or 10 is available right as fully printed. So I may pick up the rest of those for the set. And then let's see, where else do we got? What else do we got? I'm trying to keep them in like order. So I picked up the Rent a Really Shy Girlfriend Volume 1, which is the spin-off to Rent a Girlfriend. It has to do with Sumi. And so I picked up volume 2 of that. As of right now, I think there's only 3 volumes total, with 4 coming out, I think, in October, November. I like it from a spin-off. Sumi was really entertaining in the episode she was in that season 1 of the anime. And I was like, you know what? She got a spin-off. I can't wait. Another manga that I've been reading, a newer one that started up from Seven Seas Entertainment, is called Necroman. and volume 3 just came out recently, so I finally found that at Barnes and Noble. Um, I should probably point out. So, uh, certain ones I got from Barnes and Noble, Book Off, and Books a Million. Um, Obviously the Books a Million haul video is separate. If you want to go see everything and their website and all my stuff that I talked about with them as a company, go check that video out on YouTube. Um, so yeah, just a little footnote. This next one is, it's been recommended to me. These next two actually. I started the anime for one of them, and I found this at Book Off, was the Kaguya Sama Love is War, and I don't normally go for dub. I usually watch subtitled anime. But the narrator for the English dub of Love is War is so hilarious that I'm actually enjoying watching it dubbed. And I was like, you know what? And I picked up the manga before I started watching anime. I actually just started watching anime last night. And it's really entertaining. I'm really enjoying it. Um, and I always take anime and manga recommendations. Just like when I do my Toku videos, I'm like, hey, recommend some Super Sentai to me, this and that. Like, I'll check them out. The next one is Komi Can't Communicate. I picked up volume 1. I have not watched it yet. I want to read the manga first. I'm always like, I like reading, and it's from a time standpoint when I'm relaxing and that. It's easier for me to like just relax, read some manga than it is to always watch anime, especially multitasking or on lunch breaks and this and that. It's more appealing for me to read manga. And uh, this one, I finally got Don't Toy Me Miss Nagatoro Volume 1. I have Volume 2 through 4. This is the regular cover. I do have the Books a Million exclusive cover. It was pre-ordered and now it's released, so I'm waiting for that to be delivered. This is obviously one of the newer animes that I'm really a big fan of. I binged season 1 in like a day and a half. I really enjoyed it. I'm a fan, a sucker. My guilty pleasure is rom-com, anime, and manga. Well, I do like, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, My Hero, Dragon Ball, stuff like that. I do enjoy a lot of the rom com and slice of life anime and manga, which a lot of people find odd because, I don't know, they say I don't like the type, which is weird. Um, so continuing with the Rent a Shy Girlfriend, I finally got volume 4 and 5 of Rent a Girlfriend. And I I'm just in love with that anime and the manga so much. It's so good. And I was like, I'm gonna keep reading the manga. And yeah. I didn't realize, sidebar. I didn't realize how much Square Enix has like a manga division and how much they were releasing, because uh there's an anime that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I think everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. I've brought it up a few times on the podcast with when Chris was on and this and that. My Dress Up Darling, and oddly enough, it's been really hard to find the manga for that, and resellers are trying to sell the volumes way too more than double the price, which I think is ridiculous. But I was able to get volume 1 and 2 of My Dress Up Darling, and I have 3 through 6 on back order. I gotta wait like 4 weeks before I'm gonna 2 to 4 weeks before I'm gonna get them. But these ones I got from Book a Million. I was really happy to get those because I really enjoyed My Dress Up Darling, and I'm glad that I believe season 2 is gonna be a fall anime this year. I'm not sure because obviously we don't know the fall lineup, but that is manga, like 12 11 volumes of manga I picked up in the last week. The collection is drastically growing. I already have 2 full bookshelves. I'm like shelves on a bookcase. I'm probably gonna have to start a third, especially since I'm finishing up some older runs of stuff that I've been trying to get. Like I have Ultraman finished up to volume 16. Volume 17, I believe, is coming out in September or October. I'm almost done with my Demon Slayer run. Uh, and so I'm trying to finish a lot of the runs that I have because I don't want to jump around too much, and I have been jumping around a lot, I noticed, with my manga purchases. So I'm going to try and isolate it and focus specifically on finishing some of the runs I already have, at least the ones that I enjoy that I want to read more of. I am waiting for Kaiju number 8, volume 3. That is out apparently. I have not seen it in any of the stores that I normally go to. I'm probably going to have to order it online, which I'm okay with because it's Kaiju number 8, and I really enjoy that manga so much, and I feel like that's probably going to get an anime at some point. But before we get into um, the anime for summer lineup, I did a Toku haul video. I did buy a lot of merch in the last week. Also, I already put everything away and everything's already on display, but I do have a video up of that on YouTube right now. I'm not going to hunt down and pull everything off the shelves and out of the boxes and be like, here's all the stuff that I pulled up. I already have a video for that. So if you haven't already, go check that out on YouTube. Like I said, the YouTube channel, if you're watching this, you're already on the channel. But if you're listening, you just type a nerd name Mark into YouTube. All my stuff pops up. Go hit that red subscribe button and check out a lot of my hauls, because a lot of stuff I hint at on the podcast or I talk briefly on the show about. Usually I go in depth in other videos for, because that's, I feel like, you know, it's kind of like the YouTube channel is kind of like a companion piece to the podcast. It's kind of branching out more specifically about things, whereas the podcast, like the sun and all these different video types and stuff I'm into are just planets circulating the podcast. So yeah, that just, you know, I did get it. I got some more Kamen Rider stuff, a lot of Toku stuff, some more model kits that I'm going to be making. I do plan, you can't really tell, obviously this area is kind of cleaned up for once, but I do have another spot over here. I am going to start doing more videos for my model kits. I may live stream them. I've moved the camera around so you can kind of see my shelf over here more if you're watching on YouTube. So you can kind of see the top shelf with the Digimon figurized amplified kits I've made. You could see the SDW heroes. You could see my G frames. You could see a majority of the model kits I built recently. And with the nano block stuff. So I am going to be live streaming and doing more videos of that. I haven't decided if I want to live stream them on YouTube, just so that they're already on YouTube, or do them, live stream them on Twitch. I have not figured that out yet. I'm still working on rearranging, getting better camera setups and lighting, so that can be a, you know, the quality that I want it to be, and not, you know, not just to do it for the sake of doing it. I want to make sure I like the production value of the film, the videos, and the live streams. So I'm still working on that. That might be mid July, beginning of August, because the end of July I'm going to be gone for like 12 days. So yeah. Also, you know, that doesn't make it sound like I'm going, oh God, I'm gonna, I mean, getting married. So it's kind of a big deal in the honeymoon. So it's like between planning all that stuff out and getting all that stuff finalized with less than barely 3 weeks left till the wedding, it's like, oh no, I have to make content too. And, you know, yeah, it's a thing. So let's talk about video games really quick before I go into the summer 2022 anime lineup. I'm so excited to talk about anime. So I've still been chipping away at the quarry. Finished game, my first playthrough. I'm going to be starting a second playthrough to kind of clean up achievements and see other story parts of it that might have missed the pace, you know, depending on my decisions. I love the quarry so much. It's amazing. It's pick it up, play it. It's good. Still playing Pokemon Unite. Dabbling. Honestly, it's mainly from a Switch standpoint. I've been very distracted. Monster Sanctuary DLC is now officially live on all platforms. It accidentally got released early on the Switch, so I already finished it on the Switch, but I've been playing that. Also, because Fire Emblem 3 Hopes came out, I was like, man, I want to play it. And I'm not the biggest Dynasty Warrior fan anymore. I used to love those games so much. I even have some that aren't even in English that I play from like Kamen Rider. They released some of those, and I used to love that style of gameplay. Even like, you know, the Dynasty Warrior Gundams that were released and everything else. But I was like, man, I want to get 3 Hopes. But then I was like, man, it's been like 2 years since I played. I haven't played 3 Houses since summer 2020. And anyone who listened to those old episodes knows I was balls deep in that video game. Like, it was owning my life. So begrudgingly, I started playing 3 Hopes again. And but I love that game so much. It's one of my favorite Switch games. It's probably one of my. It's easily my top 10 of all time. And so I'm playing through that again just to familiarize myself with the characters, and just because the amount of games in that genre and that do it right, like it's like very slim. There's not a lot. I mean, there's the Langrisser games. There's another one that I forgot the name of that was on sale that I picked up. It was, I think it was like Dark Deity or something, like something similar to that, and that wasn't too bad. But the thing is, like Fire Emblem Three Houses, almost fully voice acted. That's what's really sets them apart from all the other competition, and there's not really any that many competitions in that style. So here's to hoping we get another Fire Emblem game at some point announced. That's not, free hopes. Like I want another actual traditional Fire Emblem game. But I've been playing that a crap ton. And that's really, I haven't really been playing a lot of games. Like I've been working a lot and doing everything else, like wedding plan. I don't have time to like really just sit down and like play games for like hours on end, which is why I've been watching more anime lately, why I've been reading more manga, because it's not as time consuming. And yeah. So there's two things, because with Crunchyroll, because we're gonna go into the summer lineup. Now that they are announcing or rolling out their summer 2022 lineup, most of these are subbed. There are usually some English dubbed down the road after. Um, so there's not a full time frame of what's going to be dubbed. Dubbed is never simulcast. Simulcast is usually subbed. So all these are going to be subbed related animes, and there's so many. Uh, so I'm not gonna go over the dates because because some of them are still to be determined. So Classroom of the Elite 2 is starting July 4th. Um, the time that's gonna drop has not been announced yet. I have not watched this. It will be getting a dub at some point, but I don't know. Another one that I started that I haven't finished is The Devil is a Part Timer, season one. Season two is gonna be coming out July 14th, which cool. I have to finish season one. Um, the girl from the other side. I should go over the synopsis of these for people so you guys know. Okay, so Classroom of the Elite 2 is Classroom of the Elite is back as the students of Class D head into a cruise ship special test. I don't know what the first season. Like I haven't watched it, so some of these don't have like really any real description that tells you the base of the show, but more like what's gonna happen. The girl from the other side is after crossing into an unknown world, a young girl and a demon make a new life together. Seems like that could be like slice of life, maybe rom com even. The main one I'm really excited for, Fudo PI, July 31st. As a Kamen Rider fan, doubles right here. If you're watching, the Kamen Rider fans are already eating this up. This is set after the events of Kamen Rider Double. Shotaro, Hidari, and Philip return in a brand new series, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna be rewatching Double before the anime comes out because yeah. Now, at the time of this video recording and going live for this episode, Rent a Girlfriend season 2 is dropping Friday at 11:30 a.m. with the subs, Pacific Standard Time, and I cannot wait. Like I mean, I need season 2. Like I can't wait. I have a reminder set. Be like, hey, stop everything you're doing. Go watch Rent a Girlfriend season 2. And I'm like, yeah, I will. So there's Odd Taxi in the Woods. This is a movie adaptation, so that's not really a show. And then we have some more new simulcasts coming out. We got Black Summoner coming back. Or well, I think it's season 1. That's coming out July 9th. Dr. Stone special episode is to be determined or to be announced. Dropkick on My Devil is going to be July 5th. We got something called Engage Kiss. That is going to be July 2nd. I already talked about Fudo PI. That's coming, the 31st of July. We have Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. This is going to be starting July 6th. Uh, no idea. The idea of it, the synopsis is: a young man is reborn into fantasy-like game and begins a journey to form his very own harem. There's so many reincarnations or reborn or parallel world anime and mangas, and I'm just like, I kind of shy away from them. Um, Another one coming out July 8th is called Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. The name already got me. I don't know what it is. Biscuit Hammer. Okay. It's an adventure begins after a talking lizard appears saying the world must be saved from an evil wizard. And I'm like, okay, so something about a biscuit hammer, Lucifer, a talking lizard, and a bad wizard. I was like, you know what? Sign me up. I'm here for it. I don't even care. Then they have Licorice Recoil. This starts July 2nd. In a downtown Tokyo cafe, a group of girls will help sort out any problem to help the local customers. This seems probably a slice of life, rom com, definitely could be a comedy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. That's July 2nd, which is going to be Saturday. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? I got the weekend off. Another one starting July 2nd, Musashi no. There's no synopsis for it. Also, we're getting uh some My Hero Academia season 5 OVAs this summer. No real date, just summer. So I still have to catch up. I'm still towards the end of season 3. I'm pretty far behind. Another one. This is something I've read the manga for. My stepmom's daughter is my ex. It's ridiculous. Uh, Here's a synopsis. After breaking up, two students find themselves living together after their parents get married. And this is starting July 6th. This is going to be hilarious. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be probably a hit. Like, it's just, yeah. And then another one, Obey Me, the anime season 2, starting July 22nd. Haven't haven't watched season 1. The Princes of Hell are back for more antics at the Royal Academy and Obey Me season 2. I'm like, all right, sounds cool. It's not on my radar. It's not something I haven't seen season 1. I'm probably not going to. Um, then obviously I already said Rent a Girlfriend season 2. We're getting another new season for RWBY Ice Queendom. That's starting July 3rd. Uh, and then we're actually getting, I believe this is a film. We're getting a Saint Seiya Knights of the Zodiac Battle for Sanctuary. That's going to be just summer at some point. I'm all for it. Big Saint Seiya fan. Like, I don't even care. I'm going to watch it. But once again, no date, just summer. And I'm like, hey, all right, cool. Another one, July 8th, we are getting Shadow's House for a second season. Kate and Emiliko encounter more ghosts in the Shadow House as they learn a mysterious whatever. Like, I'm like, hey, I never heard of this before, but there's ghosts in it. When it comes to like the occult, paranormal ghosts from an anime manga standpoint, I'm all for it. I tell everyone all the time, even though it was a short-lived anime series, one of my favorites is Ghost Hunt. It's so good. So I'm actually probably going to be checking out Shadow's House, like for sure. And then on July 8th, we're getting Shine On Bakumatsu Bad Boys. Um, 7 criminals join the surviving members of the Shinsengumi to fight against demons in Kyoto. Like, from a fighting demons, this and that, I might check it out. But then again, I still have to catch up on a lot of other like Demon Slayer stuff like that. I'm still binging those. So this might be an anime I put on the back burner. But July 8th is far away. I can watch a lot of anime in a week. Um, Also, July 2nd, we're getting Shoot Goal to the Future, which is soccer generational talent, young and old, join forces in the sequel to the 1990 series Shoot. So we're getting a sequel to a soccer. Like, I was a soccer for soccer anime. Captain, was it Subaraya or Subasa? I don't know. Subaraya is freaking Ultraman. Uh, Fan of that, this and that. So I was like, hey, I may check this out, honestly, because I played soccer for so many years and I love soccer. So I'm probably gonna check it out. Let's see. Another one coming out July 2nd is Teppen Laugh Till You Cry. And this is a diehard fan of comedy and comedians join an elite school to train the next generation of comedians. This could be funny. Obviously, it's a comedy. So I'm always more easily swayed to watch comedy anime over anything else just because they're easier to digest. You can kind of casually watch them or binge watch them and enjoy them. And there's not so much stuff going on like a lot of stuff like Naruto and stuff like that. There's not so many moving parts. It's like you know, easy. I call it easy viewing. I already talked about The Devil's a Part-Timer season 2. Uh in July, towards the end, around the 22nd, the maid I hired recently is mysterious. The synopsis of that is after a maid arrives to care for an orphan, questions arise in terms of her mysterious presence. This could be interesting. I probably won't watch that. One that I am going to be watching though is the Yakuza's Guide to Babysitting. Like, this is going to be starting July 7th. Uh, Here's a quick synopsis. A Yakuza member known as the Demon of Sakuragi is assigned to look after his boss's child. Like, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be entertaining. Um, that's really it for the Crunchyroll Summer update. That's, like I said, all the ones I just mentioned are subbed. Dubbed don't really come out the same time to an extent. Um, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the main one, Rent a Girlfriend season 2's starting Friday. That's an easy jump right in. I'm freaking watching that. No questions asked. Like, and you know, and I've been very adamant that I don't watch week to week anime or TV shows really for that matter. But Rent a Girlfriend, I will. I'm actually going to probably do reviews each week of the episodes because I want to get back into more anime and more manga content creating and video game stuff. So I will be probably doing Rent a Girlfriend like reviews every week when new episodes drop. Because yeah. Oh man, I don't know what else to talk about. I really just want to do like a quick summer anime overview. I didn't want to like fill the episode with too much stuff outside of that because I wanted to keep this just my summer anime special. Uh I got a lot going on, so the the long episodes where they're like an hour plus, even that, aren't really gonna be a thing for the next like a month and a half, probably till like the middle of August. I just got too much going on, and in my tone, and the inflection of my voice is not saying that it's negative stuff. It's like I said, working a lot. We got the wedding, we got the honeymoon. There's a lot of like personal stuff like that. That's like getting my main focus, but I still want to create content. I still want to put out the podcast. I still got stuff to say and talk about like anime and manga and movies, but the long form episodes that were like 45 minutes to an hour, not really going to be a thing. I want to go back to how the podcast was when I first started it. I want to keep these easily digestible in like episodes. Like, you know, I don't, you know, a half hour, 40 minutes. Like, I'm saved the long episodes for when I have guests or draft going over things like, you know, conventions, interviews, this and that. I want to keep the regular episodes back to the smaller bite size episodes. I feel like that's where there won't be any filler. You're going to get the content I want to create. Because sometimes, you know, like I said, a year or so ago, I was dragging my ass on it. I was just freaking dialing it in because I was just not, you know, personal issues. Now I'm like, all right, this is how the podcast I want it presented. You know, you want your 30-minute digestible episodes. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. But I think everyone who's been checking out the podcast, following me on social media, everyone who's been watching on YouTube, I did put the podcast, I claimed it on Good Pods. I'm learning that app. It's interesting. I'm got to look into it more. I have been researching more, not, I don't want to say flashier, but a better layout and styling for doing the video version, so it's not just me on a screen. Maybe something like I'm toying around with upgrading. Every couple months, I do something new to kind of make changes in how I do my content creating, and from a presentation standpoint, I always want to evolve as I do this. Cuz also it's July. We are, I think next week or the week after is my 3-year anniversary of the podcast. I started in 2019. So the 3-year anniversary is coming up very soon. I have to figure out what I'm going to do about that. Actually, I'm going to have to plan that now over the weekend. But that's it for episode 120 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. The podcast can be found on all podcast listening platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcasts, Podcast Republic, Podbean. Just type in a Nerd Named Mark podcast. You'll find it. The Nerd Named Mark Reviews RSS feed has been I haven't been uploading to it because I haven't been doing any audio reviews. I gotta change that. Once everything's done in August, I'm gonna figure out what I want to do about that. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. I don't just do the video version of the podcast. I do merch hauls, toku reactions, trailer breakdowns, reviews, comic book stuff, movie stuff, toys, collectibles. As you can see behind me, I have a few. With that being said, I thank you guys for listening, and I thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 120 of a Nerd Named Mark podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm a nerd.